My name is Muhammad Abolkasem. I was born in Gaza Strip. I'm Palestinian of origin. I grew up in Saudi Arabia and I came to Canada in 1990. My background, my father, after 1948 war in Palestine between the Arab and the Israelis, there was a catastrophic economic situation in the Gaza Strip, and my dad was a teacher in Gaza Strip. So he got a job in Saudi Arabia and moved the family over there around 1962. So I was born in 1967, in June 20th, 1967, right during the other war between the Arab and Israeli, where Israel took over the Gaza Strip. It took my father about 6 months to be able to take my mom and my brother and sister and move us back to Saudi Arabia. And a few months after we moved back to Saudi Arabia, we became refugees, because Israel took over and closed the border and declared that whoever is outside is no longer allowed to come back. And under certain circumstances, I stayed here and I became a refugee in Canada, actually. My refugee claim started in 1991. I filed my refugee claim and I did not get my citizenship until 1999. So for 9 years, I lived here under a work permit, and I was able to work, but I was not allowed to study for a while. In 1997, that's when I started my second segment in my life, where a year earlier I got married. I met my wife here. She's a far relative from the same background, but we met here in Canada, actually, and we got married in 1996. So in 1997, she moved to Ottawa, and we started a new chapter in our life, where I started my Tim Hortons career. I moved up the ladder and I was asked to be responsible for the restaurant. It was my first time ever to work in the restaurant business, so I didn't know a lot of how to manage restaurants, but principles and values are the same to manage people, basically, and how to deal with people. So I took that challenge and I enjoyed every bit of it. I learned a lot. I ended up going to school during that to study some accounting courses and some computer courses, and try to really develop my skills as I go. And I learned the challenges facing me in terms of financial and all that management skills with dealing with different people in different backgrounds. The last day on the job, I was offered to buy a franchise, as I have been in talks with head office. So they offered me a restaurant on the last day on work when I was leaving to go back to school. So I took that in 1997, and I opened September 22nd my first restaurant. That carried on, and I opened my second restaurant 2 years later in 1999. By 2002, I had 4 restaurants with about 130 employees. But that dream of going back to school never left. I continued on the path, and I always was eager wanted to go back and complete my education. That this is the dream that I left home to do. So in 2005, I was accepted in the MBA program at Ottawa University, and I joined the program, and I graduated in 2007 with a Master of Business Administration. After I've been in Canada for 9 years, I realized then that this is home. And I never probably thought of that feeling because I didn't leave for 9 years, but when I came back from the trip after 9 years, that's when I took my wife for the first time to meet my family and my parents. And we came home from the trip. I felt really I'm coming home. That's when you start reflecting on those moments that you spent and the people you met in the last few years. And after 23 years, I can confidently say that this is really home.